it is time for part 3 of our Celebrity Infinity Cruise. It is now day 2 out of our 10-day cruise vacation. We woke up today in Thessaloniki, Greece. Nothing like coffee from the buffet and that view. Even though Gary and I had gotten to Greece 2 days in advance, I'm telling you, we were jet lagged the entire first week of the cruise. Luckily, we were docked in Thessaloniki overnight, so there was no curfew time to get back on the ship, and we had no early morning excursions. So we both slept in a bit. I had a late morning workout, and you guys, I have a lot to say about the fitness center. I will definitely get into it more in the next video when I give the ship tour. But if you don't know, I teach flexibility and aerial silks classes in New York City. The fitness center on the ships are very important to me. I had a love-hate relationship with this specific fitness center. But no time to deep dive now because it is already afternoon. We gotta get off this ship. Gary and I are super big into purchasing excursions from the cruise line. But for this cruise, we did not purchase a single one. We did our research and we learned that there is stuff to do almost off of every single port. As soon as we exited the ship, they handed us a map and we just started walking towards the direction that looked like there would be the most things to do. So we've never heard of Thessaloniki before, but it is actually the second largest city in all of Greece. And it looks like a large city too. We ended up walking everywhere. And there were so many cute little cobblestoney little alleyway nooks like this. One in which we found a tiny little cute cafe and ended up ordering cappuccinos. I'm always chasing time. It's never on my side. Wish I could make it right. Someday I hope I'll find the little piece of Just Gary being wacky. I wish I could remember the name of this little cafe. It was so good. But honestly, I couldn't even find it right now if you paid me money. It was literally just hidden down some random alleyway in Thessaloniki. But in addition to tiny little alleyways, there were main drags for shopping. It kind of reminded me of 6th Avenue in New York City in like Midtown Manhattan. And as far as I know, this was not the busy season in Greece because it was still kind of chilly and wintry, but Thessaloniki was packed. So many people. It definitely gave me that crowded city vibe. Also, for my animal lovers, lots of stray dogs and cats here in Thessaloniki as well. And they all seem to be pretty chill, no rabid animals anywhere. So where we are right now is a couple blocks away from the water. If you stay along the water, there's lots of restaurants and souvenir shops. And at this point, we gave ourselves a mission to find a souvenir sweatshirt for Gary's brother. So we headed back towards the water, towards the souvenir shops. And this was not an easy task. Let me tell you, if you are looking for a large sweatshirt that does not have a hoodie, that says Greece on it somewhere, it's not that easy. After nearly 15,000 steps, we decided to head back towards the ship sweatshirtless. Boy, that was a mouthful to say. And speaking of mouthful, it's dinner time. We were quite hangry. We got changed and headed towards the main dining room for dinner number 2. What do we have, baby?
It's Asian consommé, right?
How does it taste?
It's just how I remember it last time. It's so good. There's chunks of with ginger, chunks of chicken, and carrots.
And mushrooms.
And mushrooms, all in the right proportions. It's so good. Very flavorful.
And you'll never guess what I started meal number 2 with. You got it. Escargot. Ah, it's so good. Look at it, you guys. And I wish I could remember exactly what this was. I didn't write it down anywhere. I'm so sorry. But in general, Celebrity Cruise Lines has some of the best main dining room food compared to other cruise lines. So this is one of the no sugar added desserts. It's a panna cotta. Let me give it a try. So it's creamy. It's got a lot of fruit in it. It's okay. It tastes a little jello-y. What do you have there, Gary?
This is Cherry Jubilee. I'm going to give it a go. Looks good. Perfect.
We went to see the comedian, and this brings us to day 3 of our cruise. Day 3, we were still in Thessaloniki, and Gary and I decided to use this as a sea day, meaning just a laze around the ship day. Because we usually cruise out of New York City, we almost always have at least 1 or 2 sea days before we're in an actual port. And I kind of prefer that because it gives you time to adjust to being on a vacation and to get all your stuff in order in your cabin. So the other good thing about staying on the ship day 2 in Thessaloniki was that as empty as the ship was, it was even emptier today. We spent the morning in the solarium and then headed to the main dining room for lunch. Last time we ate lunch on the Celebrity Summit, we got the same exact thing, the teriyaki duck, and it was good then. Well, let's see if it's good now. It's kind of hard to break up here, but let's taste is what matters. And the taste is there. It's amazing. Sail away from Thessaloniki was at mid-afternoon, and I want to take this time of the sail away to talk about everyone's burning question. How was the Wi-Fi? Well, you guys, the Wi-Fi was good when it worked. I had 0 problems with it in the main areas, like in the buffet, in the main dining room, in the pool area, no problems. And it was Starlink, so it was fast as well. But in our cabin, we kept losing connection, and what was so weird is Gary would have it be watching videos, streaming movies, and on my phone, it would say, oh, you don't have Wi-Fi, and then vice versa. And what was super weird about that was that our cabin was located right near the internet cafe. I took this screen grab of my phone trying to connect to the internet in the stateroom. Literally so frustrating. So if you have work that you have to do while on board, I highly recommend going towards the coffee shop or somewhere in the middle of the ship, because it just could not be trusted to work in the staterooms. But enough chit chat, you guys, because it is time for my favorite night, which is formal night, or on Celebrity Cruise Lines, they now call formal night chic night. I know using the term chic night is so much more inclusive, but I'm not a fan. Teaching fitness, I'm always in sweats, always look like a dumpster. Even when I go out in New York City, can't wear the heels because 9 times out of 10, you have to walk far. Cruise ship formal nights are one of my few opportunities to get all glitzed and glammed. And I don't want to be the only one. I want everyone else to be glitzed and glammed too. Bring back formal night. Formal night for life. What do you think about formal night? Please let us know in the comments below. Formal night is also one of the few nights that I will allow myself to have a drink or two. I got a lychee martini from the martini bar. And funny thing happened was the table is cool to keep your drinks cold, but the stem of my glass kept getting stuck on the table and the bartender kind of had to like knock it off for me.
This is salmon tartare with red caviar. I'm going to take a nice bite right now. Oh my goodness. It's perfect. Perfect.
On day 3 was the first actual production show, Broken Strings, meaning the production show with the singers and the dancers. But first, the captain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
You can do better than that.
That was very lame and you know it.
Not bad.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
There you go. We have already fed you and I'm sure you had 2-3 drinks. No excuse.
So Broken Strings, the first production show. It was an original show created by Celebrity. It kind of had a loose plot. It took place in an Irish pub. I think it was an Irish pub. Oh boy, now I'm forgetting. And it was created around someone's birthday. And I don't even know. Whenever these cruise lines try and create their own shows with a half-assed plot, it's always kind of like, eh. But because our previous Celebrity experience was with the Summit, I'm going to compare this show to the shows on the Summit, and it was way better. Again, none of the shows on Celebrity Summit had much of a set, and all the costumes were very minimalist. Look here, we got a set, we got costumes, so we're 2 for 2. Also, it was a high energy show. It kept flowing. The dancers were really good, so I can't complain too much. Waking up to this view from our balcony on day 4, we were in Ephesus, or Kusadasi, Turkey. By the way, guys, I'm not an expert. If I pronounce anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. I grabbed a quick bite alone from the buffet, and we ended up eating at the buffet more than any other cruise we've ever been on. I'll talk a little more about it later. But it's already early afternoon, so let's get off the ship. Ephesus was another place where there was just so much to do right near the ship. But first, cats. You know the mouse population is under control at this shipyard when you are greeted by super friendly kitties. To get out of this port, you do have to walk through a shopping area. And this is your warning that some of the shop vendors were super aggressive. And we live in Midtown Manhattan, so if we are telling you that the shop vendors were aggressive, the shop vendors were aggressive. Some of them would sincerely not take no thank you for an answer and follow you down the pathway. At first we were trying to be friendly and polite, but it was just too much, and eventually we just ignored everyone. Don't be afraid to do that. If someone is following you down the sidewalk trying to get you to buy a $1,000 carpet that you're just never going to buy, they are the ones being rude, not you. Don't make eye contact, just keep walking. As soon as you were a few blocks away from the ship, everything was fine. It was pretty chill. All along the water in Ephesus, there was a really nice promenade with loads of photo opportunities for the ship, with lots of cool sculptures and art. But you guys, what do you think Gary and I did? Like the uncultured Americans we are, we went to Starbucks. don't be too disappointed in us. We actually really did it for the Wi-Fi. And here is what the menu of Starbucks in Ephesus, Turkey looked like.
This, wait a minute, this, what are you doing? Are you filming me?
I'm filming the dog.
The dog?
There's a dog.
Also, for our fellow Starbucks lovers out there, this Starbucks would not scan the app as payment, so you have to purchase your drinks with a good old-fashioned credit card or cash. So Ephesus was another 10,000 plus step location for us. And if you do come here in the summer when it's warmer, there is a beach located near the ship. It wasn't that big, and I can't imagine how packed it would be with warmer weather. But still, if you don't want to pay extra for an excursion and you like beaches, this might just be one other thing that you could do with your day. We could have hung out longer, but we had early dinner reservations for Le Petit Chef. Celebrity probably does not want me sharing this information with you guys, but because the cruise was so empty, they were offering major discounts for the specialty restaurants. First day, they were offering 10% discounts. Then a few days later, it was up to 20%, which was why we decided to go. By the last day of the cruise, they were offering 30-40% off dinner. Now, these deep discounts were probably only because there were so few passengers on the sailing. But if it's ever something you want to do and you feel like you can't swing it financially, there might be some steeper discounts towards the end of your cruise, so look into it. Okay, Le Petit Chef, an immersive dinner experience. So here's what the deal is. Basically, an animation projected from above comes down onto your plate, and there's sort of like a little cartoon presentation making your meal, and by the end of it, the server places the meal exactly where the animation just ended. But here's what was confusing to me. There was 2 menus. You could mix and match from each menu, but only one item, for example, one appetizer, one main course, one dessert, was animated. So in other words, if I got the lobster as my main course, there was no animation show for the lobster. I had to watch the steak animation, but then I had lobster. So I'm wondering if, one, because the ship was just out of dry dock, they didn't have all the animations on this ship yet. Or 2, were they just being lazy? Were they like, let's just show this one animation, whatever, if she gets the lobster, she'll have to deal. Have you ever eaten at a Le Petit Chef on a different celebrity cruise? And did they have different animation options? I need to know. We need to know. Please let us know in the comments. One other thing to note was there was only one other couple in the entire restaurant at this time. So maybe they didn't even want to whip out the other animations. I don't know.
Oh, this is so good. Those tomatoes are so ripe. And there's vinaigrette on there that's just divine. I've never tasted vinaigrette like that before. Balsamic vinaigrette and extra virgin olive oil, whatever this is. I think it's a mushroom. I'll find out.
Okay, this is the soup, and it's good, but the shrimp have the tails, which we don't like. Whoa.
I smelled the charcoal.
I know, I smell it. So, yeah, they added smell to the whole presentation as well, which was super cool. Now let's talk about food quality. It was amazing, you guys. This lobster was so good. Gary said it was one of the best steaks he's ever had.
So I just had the lobster and it's so good. The sauce is so good. Everything's so good. I'm literally licking the shell. Never before. Never before.
Especially at a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, desperate times. Gary loves the steak sauce so much.
My filet mignon sauce is not going to go to waste.
You guys, he finished the filet mignon and he's eating the sauce. You guys, this is savage. This is savage.
Laurie licked the shell from her lobster.
I did, it's true. My lobster has no sauce because I licked it off. He's about to lick his plate.
And this meal concludes day 4 or part 3 of our Celebrity Infinity cruise vacation. If you gained any value, knowledge, or entertainment out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. The notification bell will alert you when part 4 of our Celebrity Infinity cruise comes out. The next video will have a ship tour, so you definitely don't want to miss that. If you have any questions or if we gave any misinformation in this video, please let us know in the comments. I love engaging with you guys. We love engaging with you guys. But for now, let's say goodbye to Turkey and this video.